Hey, this is Brian with King Grizzly, and in this video I'm going to show you really quickly in Elementor how you can start building bento layouts with your grid containers. Bento layouts are these kind of trendy, popular layouts which have content that's arranged in a way that is on a grid. So you might have, I'll show you, this website here is called bentogrids.com, has a ton of examples. So for example, you can see here, we've got some content like these three boxes down here they end up being the same height as these singular items over here. Or if we look at another example on this fancy website, you can see how this lightning fast panel is double high, and then this one's like, what, a third high, and this is a 2/3 height. So they don't really exactly conform to the same height as each, like in a row as the ones next to each other. They can be arranged on a grid. So how would we start building something like this in Elementor? I'll show you really quick. So let's see here. I'm going to add a grid. Just click on plus and click on the grid item, or you can add it over here. I'm going to hit grid. So by default, Elementor loads it in with 3 columns and 2 rows. So each of these is sort of like a grid item. So there's a couple things we could do. We could drop images on here, or we could drop containers. I generally would do containers. I will show you though, you could even mix and match. So let's say we wanted an image. I'm going to type image to find my image widget, drop it in there. You can see it's going to take up 1 cell by default. But what's cool, now if we look at our grid, if I click on my image, I could say I want this, if I go to advanced, to span 2 columns. And it will, just like that. So then maybe I want to duplicate it. And the one I duplicated, I don't want it to span 2 columns. I just want it to span 1. You can see we're already getting to the bento style layout. Now I would need to make this image like 100% high. Let me show you how to do it with containers, because containers you can kind of really control what's inside. So I'm going to click plus again, and I'm going to grab, I could get another grid container, but I'm going to get a flexbox container. And maybe we'll put like a modest padding on there. Let's give it a background color too, just so we can see it. Okay, we'll choose something that's kind of a nice color. There's one. Okay, if I wanted to, I could say add a border radius, like that. And then I can, for that container, I can control what I want it to do. So if I want it to be 2 rows high, I could do that. If I duplicate it, let's say I want this one to only be 1 row high. Maybe I want it to span 2 columns. So you see that? If I duplicate it again, maybe this one, I want it to be 2 rows high and 2 columns wide. You see the grid's already kind of noticing that I'm doing that. I could also increase my number of rows here, or sometimes I just change this to the pencil and I type auto. It may be more intuitive for most people though, and might actually work better to just go ahead and type in the number of rows that you want to have. But as you can see, we're starting to get that similar design. If I duplicate this one, maybe I want it to be 1 column wide and only 1 row high. And you'll see it slotting together just like these examples that we've seen. That is the quickest way to start building. Something you should note if you want to get real sophisticated is for any of these, if I want to, let's say our grid has, let's give it 5 rows, so we've got extra space here. Let's say for some reason I really wanted to place one in a particular location, like this container here. What if I wanted it down more? I can actually go to custom, and I can choose which row do I want this to start on. So let's say I wanted it to be on row 3, and I want it to end, so I'm going to type this sort of / here, on row 6. So the way this actually works is, it's not actually going to across number 6, it ends at the end of 5. So what I'm saying is, start on row 3, 3, 4, 5. So I'm ending at 6. So if my grid had 6 rows like that, it doesn't actually make it to 6. So if you see, it ends at 6. So if I wanted it to go all the way to the end of the 6th one, I would type 7. A little counterintuitive. So if we look at our grid now, you'll see that one makes it all the way there. So this is really important to learn the shorthand because it really helps you place things and you can adjust things per device size. So let's say I actually wanted it to start on 5 and end on 7, I could. And then on columns, I can actually go to custom and I could say, hey, I want to start on 2 or I want it to, I think this is like saying I want it to be in 2, but you could also say where you want it to end. So end at 4. So if we look at our grid again, you can see I don't actually have 4, but what I'm saying is get to the end of 3. So by clicking on that container, you'll see I'm saying start on 2, and at the beginning of what would be 4, even though we have no 4, so it goes to the end of 3. Now, if we go to another device size, I can readjust. So if I wanted to, let me give this container a different color background, just so we can spot it there. Let's say on tablet, we want this to be somewhere else. We can go to advanced. We can override. So I could say, I want you to be going from column 1 to the end of column 2. And I actually would like you to start at row 1 like that. And I could say, I want you to span to row 3. Oops, not 34. So you can see we can start moving things around per device size by learning that shorthand and build some really cool bento layouts. So if you need some inspiration, I suggest this bentogrids.com has a lot of good ideas. And then of course you can just study things you find as well. But hopefully that gives you a good idea how to get started building your own bento layouts. And then of course inside these containers you can put whatever you want, background image, text, etc. And because I put in flexbox containers, I also have the option to reverse things. Let me just show you this lastly. So let's say I had a heading in here and maybe some text. But for some reason on the phone, I sure would like to reverse those. Well, since this is a flex container, I can still go to the layout settings and reverse them on mobile device sizes, right? So I still have my flex ordering controls, flex direction controls inside of the grid. So you can mix and match grid containers with flex containers. I'm really excited to see what people build. This is going to be cool. Just make sure when you get down to your different device sizes, if you notice some oddities with your layouts and so forth, check on the grid how many columns it's set to. So like it's set to 1, but you can see my containers, I was playing with them, having some of them, well, maybe not that one. See, this one's set to span 2, but my column is actually only 1. I only have 1 available column here in the grid, even though it looks like I have 2. So you need to actually go through and make a match. So like if I were to go down, just set all these to 1, what happens then is they look proper now. So you have to make sure you have enough columns for whatever you have your child container set to. If I set this to 2, then you'll see they're all going to just be 1 wide. So then I could go to my container and say, I would like you to span 2. And then this container is spanning 2. So that's something to look out for as you're building these. But hopefully this helped. Please consider subscribing, and I hope you have a good day.